Hey, what's up, guys? Got a little video to shoot and a little bit of a recap of G6, the gathering out in Las Vegas. So got back a few days back, had a busy week because started my new company, so just taking a lot of time, but I posted some pictures on Instagram, and I know several of you guys want to see videos of some of the things that I picked up. So if you guys go back to my Blade Show recap, the final one, you can see where I won, like, I don't know if it was 7 or 8 lotteries. I mean, I pretty much was hitting everything out there. It was awesome. I wish I could do that every time. So a lot of people said it's beginner luck, you know, which was awesome. I mean, I was happy to have it. And then I go to the gathering, and I didn't hit a single lottery, not one. So it happens. People had told me they go to Blade and they didn't hit a. They go sometimes and hadn't hit a lottery at all. Obviously, it was great for me, but now I know what it's like because I went all the way to Vegas and didn't hit anything. So, but regardless of that, the gathering is way different than Blade. Blade was thousands and thousands of people. I mean, you're running from one table to the next. You couldn't tell where anybody was. Every maker on the planet, plus all the production companies. Everybody from anywhere in the knife industry is at Blade. And it's very difficult to get around, and it was super hot, and it was still a great time, don't get me wrong, because they have the pit afterwards where you can hang out, and you can go watch the Blade Show recap, and I'll talk a little bit about that there. But the gathering's very, very different. It's much smaller. I mean, 1/10, if not smaller than that, the size of Blade. Still, the top makers are there. And you get opportunities to really, because it's not so crazy, you get to meet the makers and you have a few minutes to chat with them and talk to them about, you know, what you own of theirs, what you love of theirs, how they do their making, production, this, that, and the other, and it makes for a much more enjoyable experience. And really the main part of it is I got to meet a lot of the people that I know of from the USN. And I've never met any of these people, or a lot of them I haven't met. And you get to meet the people behind the names, the usernames on USN. That was the coolest part. And they have what's called the Cove afterwards. So you have the show on Friday and Saturday all day from, I think, 10 to 6, somewhere around there. And after that, from probably right after until God knows what time in the morning, I know a lot of them are in there 2, 3 o'clock later, so it was open all night. And you get to hang out, and people bring their knives, and everybody sits around tables. You probably saw some pictures on my Instagram about that sort of thing. So anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about how cool that was to meet everybody, see all kinds of cool blades I hadn't seen before, and then talk about the couple things that I did pick up. So I was lucky enough to grab an arrestor from the Cove. This is a Brad Blunt arrestor. This is the full-size arrestor in the satin finish blade. And I've been wanting one of these for a while. Let me wipe it down real fast. I've been wanting one for a while, and I'd won a mini arrestor at Blade. It was just way too small. And this one's, if it focuses, is right up my alley. So nice satin grind. Looks incredible. Stonewashed. Scales. His pocket clip, which you can tell it's 3D contoured. Like how he rounds out the edges here. Just very comfortable knife. It's not focusing very well. But the grinds go two ways. Obviously the belt grinds, and then he's got a satin finish on the top. A little bit of jimping on the spine. Lockup is, come on, very early on this guy. Just a very awesome knife. I mean, this is probably, you know, Brad's knives are very hard to come by and sell for a ton of money on the secondary market. So I was lucky enough to grab one. Fits my hand much better. As you guys know, I complain a lot about smaller knives, but just enough to get on the outside of there. Fits very similar to the Overload from Blunt and Stout, but his grinds are just incredible. He's a part-time maker. Brad has a full-time job and gets out knives when he can, and everybody and their brother's trying to get on the list. So Detent's incredible. Flips out like a champ. Great, like I say, great jimping. Somewhat of a usable choil. You can get your finger in there, but it's sharp right on this edge, so I'd be careful if you were cutting with the choil, but you can get in there. So just a great knife, and I'm so glad I picked it up. Got very lucky with that. And then I also picked up a Andre Van Heerden and Tashi collab. I had an M35 before, but I saw this and sold the other one, and was picking this one up. This was basically a delivery at the Gathering. It's got this awesome damn steel blade. This is one of the nicest blades I've ever seen. And I forget, I think it's like, I don't know what he called it. I don't know if it's a rose pattern or something like that, but Damn Steel Company, I'm going to ask them what it is. Got zirconium bolsters. Dual anodized pivot. Silver lightning strike carbon fiber for the scales. I believe that's a carbon fiber backspacer. I can't tell for sure. It's either that or G10. I'm not really sure. But he anodizes these liners, which look awesome. Him and Andre Thorburn are both masters at that. You can see it on the underside as well, if it focuses for me. Nice purple bluish color. And then he's got a lightning strike carbon fiber clip. And like on the other one, I think he does carbon fiber clips on most of these, but this one's in the lightning strike, and this is absolutely perfect. I've had a lot of knives in lightning strike carbon fiber, and this is the first one where I have not been able to find one single bit of a burr of a wire hanging out, not one spot, and it melts into the zirconium. I'm not sure if you can see that pivot, how it's anodized in the inside. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll give you a close-up of this blade again. Isn't that sick? The steel's one thing. It's beautiful, but it doesn't look like this unless it's etched properly. And he did a really fantastic job of etching this thing. So lockup on the guy is about 40%, I think. No, 30% or so. And it is so smooth. Just falls right in. Fires out like a champ. Fits my hand like a glove. This is a great knife. And you know, the carbon fiber ones that I had before, they're super nice. I mean, Tashi, like I told you guys before, anything he touches is just incredible anyway. But Andre did a great job of putting this thing together, making it smooth, flip well. And like I say, I had the one before that was all carbon fiber. It was super light, and I like a bigger, bulkier, heavier knife. So with this zirconium, it really helps me enjoy carrying it more. So that's what I grabbed from Andre Van Heerden. And he had two of them there. I think it's the only two made. And I had messaged him. He put it on Instagram. And I had messaged him about it. Like, I've got to have that. Are you taking that to the Gathering? He said, yeah. I was like, well, I definitely want it. Hold it for me. So I'd made arrangements well before the Gathering. And he had two of them to let me choose between the two. These were snagged up first. And very expensive. Nowhere near the cost of the regular production models. Quite a bit more. Dead centered. Look at those liners. This is just a sweet knife. I mean, I'm super stoked. So great knife, great feel. The way the hand falls in here on the top of the scale. Good jimping on it. Not really a choil that you can use. I guess you can hold on to the flipper tab here and use it, but I wouldn't because it's pretty sharp right to that edge. But just an awesome knife. I actually carried this one yesterday, I believe, and it was awesome. So fantastic show. Really enjoyed it. I got a little bit of a swag on here. I've got some JBB stickers. I actually put one on my case. I got 3 of these. I got a red one, a black one. I put the white one on my Pelican case. A JBB patch Couldn't think of what that was for a second. A couple Microtech patches. They were throwing out all kinds of cool swag. Marfione. The man Michael Birch. Cool USN patch. Sticker from McNeese Custom Knives. And just to give you guys an idea, when you register, you get a badge, is what they call this thing. It's like a plastic piece. They put your username for USN on the top, and then whatever you want. If you want your real name on there, they'll put that as well. And then they put the Gathering 2014, your badge number, and cool USN logo there. Usual Suspect Network. Vegas in the background. But it's cool. So it's funny because you see all these people, and it's literally a room full of complete strangers. You don't know them by their looks at all. So what you do is you find yourself walking around staring at everyone's chest, because that's where their badges are, and you're like, you walk by them, don't know who they are, and all of a sudden you see their chest, like, oh my god, that's so and so, and then you strike up a conversation, and it's the beginning of a friendship. And I mean, I can't tell you. I told my wife when I got back, she didn't go this time, she went with me to Blade, but I told her when I got back, I met some of the absolute nicest people I've ever met in my life at this show. Like, literally, you know, some people I already knew, Barry Newton Knives and Brian Dunn, just great guys in general. Actually, long story about the flights going out, but I missed a connector there because my flight was delayed. So I sat in the airport for 5 hours, but I was riding out there with them, and we rode back together. So got to spend some time with those guys. But just some of the new people that you meet that I chat with almost every day, you know, not through buying knives, but just being on the USN and talking about, you know, stuff. It could be anything, but USN's a cool place, and I'm glad I found it and was able to be a part of it. A lot of great members there, and just super, super nice people. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. We're on 12 minutes of absolute blabbering, but thought you might get a kick out of this stuff about the 2 scores that I did pick up, even though they weren't lotteries. I was happy to grab them anyway, just coming back with something. So anyway, look forward to next year. If you guys are on the USN, get involved. It's a cool place. And if you even have remotely thought about going to the Gathering, book it right now. I am ready to go. I haven't booked it yet, but I'm not even certain if they have their rooms booked. But if you get a chance, definitely go to it. It's worth the time. It's worth meeting the people, the relationships that you find, and just an all-around great time. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I will talk with you soon. Take care.